Hello, welcome to this vlog, which is going to be a day in the life on a writing retreat at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. Let me caveat that by saying that I'm actually still working, but the good thing is that this week, the last couple weeks, I've been working a lot. It's been really busy, so I have a lighter week this week. I don't have very many meetings, so I'm kind of taking it as like a, I have an hour or two more than I would usually have in my day to spend some time writing. It is also, what day is it in NaNoWriMo right now? It's November 14th, 15th. November 15th? I think it's November 15th. And I have 18,000 words in my NaNoWriMo novel, which is not halfway, but is still something. One thing to note about it, and I'll talk a little bit more about this later, as I have been a nano rebel. I have a book that I am editing, and honestly, like, I gave it to beta readers, and I do feel like it's close to querying. I've had people tell me it's close to querying, but I have this problem where I had a list of a couple things I wanted to change in each chapter, but I was like, oh, I can make this better, and I can make this better, and I can make this better. And no matter what I do, I'm always like, it can always be better. I don't know how you stop this. I don't know. When do you decide the book is good enough? Because I'm like, oh, and I could add this thing here, and if we could get more depth there. And anyways, the thing that's giving me a lot of nervousness right now is I think the book I gave to my beta readers was like 87,000 words. This edited version is clocking in at 93,000 at the moment, and I've only edited half of it. So I've been adding, I actually cut a lot of scenes, but to the existing scenes, I've added more emotion, I've added a little bit more meat, more sensory details, all that kind of thing, and it added up. And so now I am getting very nervous because I don't want to query a 100,000 word YA contemporary. I don't even want to query a 95,000 word. I don't even want to query a 90,000 word, to be honest with you. Like, my preference is if it would be below 90,000 words. To be fair, there's a lot going on in this book, and maybe that's the problem. I don't know. I think if I have it at 90,000, I'll be safe. So a lot of my feedback that I got from my beta readers was like, hey, I don't feel bonded with this crew enough. I'm like, okay, great, we write more bonding, whatever. To write more bonding with the crew, you need more words. So I don't know how to give more depth to these relationships without giving more words. I'm trying to think, how can I make these things work better? Basically, today my goal is to finish the last two scenes of Act 2A, so the part between break into 2 and the midpoint, and send them off to my critique partner and say, if you see anything, anywhere where I can cut words, please let me know. This is meant to be the last pass before querying. The last pass before querying being like consistency, line level stuff, etc. And I'm really happy with how it's going, with the exception of like one chunk of this middle section. I'm really happy with it. I think there's a lot more to it. I feel like I'm addressing the comments really well, but it's getting too long. And let's go to breakfast. I am here by myself. I will be posting this after I leave, so if you want to come kidnap me or something, I'm not here anymore. But it's a little bit of a weird story how I ended up here. I did not come to Mexico to be at an all-inclusive resort. I was in Oaxaca for Day of the Dead. I'm going somewhere else after this, and it just kind of ended up that I needed somewhere to go, and this worked out. So it is, in some ways, a great situation for writing because, well, A, it's raining outside, so I haven't actually been in a pool or to the beach at all this whole time, which is like partially sad, but also like, hey, get more work done. Also, they make all of your meals. I don't know if you know what an all-inclusive is, but they provide you with food. So you don't have to worry about that. You just walk to the place and you get the food and you eat it and then you're done. Although there are some like specialty restaurants you need reservations for, and I'm gonna try to do that as soon as I leave. It's like 10 a.m. and reservations open at 8:30, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get anything for today, but I would like to try. Although yesterday I had like really good ribs at their like American restaurant, so Who knows? Who knows at all? We will see what we can do.
This is the restaurant with the breakfast buffet. It was really super pretty. And if you're wondering why you're seeing a video of a toaster with toast coming out of it, that is because I love Jack Whitehall. He talks about how it's completely impossible to make a decent piece of toast on the hotel conveyor belt toaster. Now, inexplicably, hotel conveyor belt toasters bring me joy.
Okay, so I have been working for a while. You're like propped up right on my computer here, sorry. And I just sent Act 2A to my critique partner. Finally, oh my God. I'm really happy with what I ended up doing with it was basically the midpoint that I was editing today. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I had something in there that I felt like kind of broke the flow, and I took it out, and I think it works. I think it's totally fine. I was able to combine a couple of things together to save words later on. I made it more charged, I think, and more emotional. I've been trying to make the chemistry and attraction stronger. I think I'm doing these things, I think. I think. This section I had the fewest comments on. It moves really quickly. People really liked it. It was Act 2A that not everyone, but people were like, don't really understand what's going on, which was fair enough, which is why I spent so long changing it. So I am so hopeful. I am so hopeful that it will be faster to do the rest of this, because I want to finish editing this book by the end of November. I just can't work on this thing anymore. You know what I mean? I need to take a break. And then I'm gonna have the question of, do I start querying it in December? I think, so I have a couple of agents on a list from DV Pit and just from conferences. I'm gonna, if I can get this done in the next 2 weeks and do a little bit cleanup of line editing, I think I wanna query those agents that have already expressed interest. Late November, first couple days of December, because I don't know, because everyone's like, don't query in December because it gets flooded from NaNoWriMo or something. I'm like, well, but it's ready. So I want to query the ones that I have already had contact with, because I think that connection will be helpful. And I think if I've had contact with them, they'd be maybe more likely to give some feedback when they reject it, just assuming they're going to, and that kind of thing. So they'd be more likely to say something and more likely to open it because they've already requested that I send it, right? So that is going to be my goal, where they won't forget about it. If I can query those few people, it's 5, the first day of December or something, if I can get this ready, that's what we're gonna do. We just have to get through it. So I'm gonna take a break now, and then I'm either gonna come back and work on my newsletter, which I haven't sent, which I should be sending, or did I even edit this? Chop. Okay, I didn't edit the very last bit of the act. That's so funny. It's okay. It doesn't need to be changed. That part is fine. Anyways, I might come back and start in on chapter 26. Chapter 26 should be mostly okay. Chapter 27, I just need to cut. There's too much filler in it. There's a really fun thing about a pig on a leash. I just might need to cut it, even though I love the pig. But that's just funny. It's not doing anything for the story. Tell your darlings. 28, everyone loves this chapter. 29, maybe I can cut some words, who knows. 30 people loved. 31 people loved. 32 people loved. 34, I have to add some words. Things get much better. Things get much better. There's less, the next 2 chapters are gonna be a little tricky. There's 1 chapter at the act break between 2 and 3 that's gonna be a little tricky, but everything else should just be my gosh darn bullet points. But the problem is, when you go, and I haven't changed anything in the story besides added depth to what's already there, is that when you go and you edit things, like then you have to edit all of them to be consistent with what you were doing before. So we'll see. It might take me just as long. Who knows? Who knows? But the other thing is I've said this a million times, I don't want to over edit it because this is draft 7 and I've rewritten this book at this point, like, I'm not even, like 20 times. I've rewritten most of the scenes in this book at least 20 times. So we have to stop and just call it because there's diminishing returns, right? And I gotta move on. I gotta start working on my Christmas book, which I have been working on it a little bit. The majority of my words for Nano have been coming from editing, but I have advanced a little bit in the Christmas story, and I just want to be able to spend all of December finishing that off. So right now I am going to go, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna go maybe get some snacks. I have a meeting in 2 hours for work, and then I have dinner at 6:30, I think it is, at the steakhouse, which I'm excited about. I figured out how to do an advanced dining reservation, which is exciting. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so I got back from lunch, had a little like spinach lasagna. It was a small portion, so it was nice. I have a meeting in like 20 minutes, so I took a bath because I have a beautiful bathtub right over there. It's gorgeous. And I got back to my room and I got to see my towel animal of the day, which is my favorite thing about this whole resort. Today it's you can't really see it, well, can you? It's a swan, I think, or maybe it's meant to be a peacock. Well, anyways, so I only have 20 minutes, so I'm kind of debating what to do. I could, I could write for a little bit. I should write for a little bit. So maybe I'll do that. I'm trying to think of ideas for this newsletter for November. I kind of want to do like one more focused on the sound narcissistic, my writing, and just talk about like progression of projects and I don't know, something. First and last lines, like something fun from that. I can do the TBR bit and the travel bit in there too. I think it's gonna be good. I just gotta work on it though. Maybe I'll work on that now, because it's a short thing to do. Cool, that's the plan. Let's go.
So they had lots of dinner options. The best one was the teppanyaki by like presentation and food. So that's what's here. And then this is the only video that I got at the steakhouse that actual night of my cheesecake and my wine. Afterwards, there's this like, they do theater nights. There was this little dancing show that I went to. It was real cute, fun to see. I love watching dancing. And then I kid you not, the entire resort flooded. Like it was raining so hard. You stepped outside, you got soaked. And I was legitimately like searching for emergency weather alerts because I thought we were having like a hurricane or something that no one had informed me about.
Okay, so my day in the life was yesterday, and I thought I'd give a little bit of an update. First of all, I have a cold now. This fall is just killing me in terms of being sick. I feel like I've been sick for the vast majority of November. But besides that, how many words did I get yesterday? I got about 1,900 words, which is not bad. I need to be doing 1,900 a day. Right now it says I'm on track to finish December 7th, but we're gonna accelerate that. I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah, altogether, it's not going the worst. It's not going the worst. I'm like very close to being halfway there. I'm at 22,994 words. So not bad at all. Please comment below. Let me know how your NaNoWriMo is going or whatever your project you're working on, whether it's, for Nano or not. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and I'm going to really quickly slip a peek of the newsletter I was talking about in. It went out yesterday, I think, and it was a fun one. I love writing these Substacks. I have no idea. I don't get a lot of feedback on them, to be honest, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. So they are fun. I do enjoy writing them. Don't know if they're, you know, useful, or interesting. But I'm experimenting with it and playing with it, and honestly, like, I love Substack. I can do that so much better than Instagram. So take a look.
See if it's your thing, and here is a sneak peek of the sneak peek of writing I'm sharing this week.
And if you have one, let me know, and I will check it out as well. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.